This is the story of a medical mystery that spans the globe. The story of parents who refused to give up until they had answers for their daughter, and the researchers who could be on the verge of a discovery that could change the world as we know it.
This is Jordan's happy place. On horseback is where she feels empowered, where she feels free.
The animals know. They know that Jordan is different. They sense it, and as a result, they behave differently too.
The fact that Jordan doesn't speak at times, it can be lovely because she is a very soulful person, and she has to be soulful to communicate.
11-year-old Jordan Lang has been through a lot in her short life.
For the first 9 months, she was just this wonderful little girl.
Around age 3, doctors confirmed what Jordan's parents, Joe and Cynthia, suspected. She was dealing with some kind of neurodevelopmental delays, but it would be years before her parents had any concrete answers. Today, researchers believe Jordan's journey that began right here in Sacramento may soon change the world.
It kind of makes you feel like, yes, this is our purpose. I'm elated knowing that this is going to touch and help so many other children.
It gives me goosebumps, even as I sit across from you.
Dr. Shalesha Saikar is a pediatric neurologist in Sacramento and Jordan's doctor. He sees patients with various kinds of problems related to the developing brain.
There are 3 questions which parents are asking me. Doc, what is wrong with my child? Why did it happen? And what can you do about it?
But in Jordan's case, those answers were hard to come by. At age 9 and still with no diagnosis, Dr. Saikar suggested what amounted to a last resort, mapping Jordan's genome, or whole exome sequencing as it's known. Just like road maps, whole exome sequencing shows a set of landmarks that make up who a person is and what they're made of. In today's high-tech medical world, it's increasingly used to provide a window into why a particular ailment exists in a person. Jordan's results hinted at a breakthrough.
It's costly, but it's very, very important.
What it did is it set off this whole amazing journey that we're on right now.
The results revealed Jordan has an undiscovered variation in the gene known as PPP2R5D, an answer, but not a solution. At Maryland-based genetic testing company GeneDx, genetic counselor Megan Cho and her team began to connect the dots.
My initial thought was that this has got to be real.
Megan and her team had a eureka moment. They'd seen a similar genetic variation as Jordan's before in a handful of children with similar symptoms across the world.
And so we thought that this is probably the answer, even though it was a new disorder that hadn't been described yet.
To figure out what was happening, they turned to Dr. Wendy Chung, a world-renowned medical detective at the University of Columbia Medical Center in New York. Dr. Chung takes only the most difficult cases that have no answers.
One day it dawned on me, Jordan was one of them, that we were seeing changes in the same gene and exactly the same genetic changes that Jordan has really across many, many other children who had very similar symptoms, very similar behavioral challenges.
A 2015 study led by Dr. Chung brought the first breakthrough. Researchers linked Jordan's genetic variation to intellectual disability and autism. Jordan was patient number 4 in that study. Now, an international team of doctors from Columbia University Medical Center, Seattle Children's Hospital, and the best of the best from all over the country and the world is set to begin first-of-its-kind research into how the genetic variation can be treated or even reversed. Researchers hope to correct the genetic mutation itself. It sounds like science fiction, but once the final results are in,
we can study and ultimately test different, whether they be medications, whether they be different therapies.
Okay.
Back in Sacramento, Joe and Cynthia pledged to do anything they could to help move the study forward.
Well, okay, we're parents. Put us in, coach.
But they were stunned to learn the far-reaching impacts the research may have. Dr. Chung told the Langs the genetic variation found in Jordan is believed to be linked to more than just neurodevelopmental disorders. Much, much more.
More generally, for many, many other people around the world that have Alzheimer's, cancer, or even yet unexplored conditions that we haven't even thought of.
Autism, Alzheimer's, cancer. All told, close to 100 million people affected worldwide. Doctors believe this research could finally bring some answers.
My initial thought was, I'm coming here to help my daughter, and now what you're saying is this foundational research into this mutation and ways to reverse it could have impacts that are far beyond anything we had contemplated.
Today, at least 28 children worldwide are known to have the same genetic variation as Jordan. Families in Ireland, England, Norway, Sweden, France, Colombia, Costa Rica, and the United States are part of a Facebook group to give support, share their stories, and now their hopes for success. Carol is in Colorado.
I know every one of us will keep pushing until we get somewhere. So there's a name and there's a method, and now we just have to execute.
Those are serpine genes?
These are all serpine genes right now.
Nice.
Dr. Kyle Fink works at the UC Davis Institute for Regenerative Cures. There, he and his team work on technology and therapy to fight rare genetically linked pediatric disorders and other ailments of the brain. He is not associated with the upcoming study, but says it holds great potential.
Looking through some of the planned studies that they're trying to do, while very ambitious, I think this is one of the major ways in which we can try to tackle rare neurological diseases. So the team and the projects I think that they're proposing to do hold a lot of potential, but really it has to, it'll come to bear with the science, and if the science actually can move it forward.
Trot. Come on, Gemini.
There is a long road ahead in Jordan's journey, but for Jordan, her parents, and countless families around the world, a cure seems closer than ever.
It's kind of simple as a parent. I want that one day when Jordan can look at us and say, you know what, Mom and Dad, for 12 or 15 years, I've been trying to tell you what I want and I need, and now I can. And guess what? You got it wrong.